in them. And I would like to see the real OMG come back right now so we can have
well, the real OMG, please stand up, because I need to see you actually play here against FPX. Because honestly, this is very much becoming a middle-of-the-pack game between FPX and OMG. OMG need to show that they can actually beat the teams around them like FPX, or at least take games off them. We have some of the bans coming through. Cogmore, Tamkench, and Jarvan on the opposite side. Rise, Zoe, and Alistar. I want to say Kalista. Alistar for FPX.
Is Zoe going to be banned away from Icon? I'm sure he spent a lot of time in solo queue mastering the champion after Xie showed him what it can do. Rise as well going to be taken away. Now that one is something that we need to discuss. Bing pretty much only plays Rise, and he has had it banned away from Icon. That's curious to me because a lot of Funplus Phoenix's strategies revolve around the Rise ultimate, yet they've banned it.
Very true. And at the same time, OMG will first pick Sejuani for World 6 here, so they're going to take some of his teeth away, but he'll still be able to contest those early objectives, which is, I'm sure, what he wants to be doing here. FPX perhaps looking at a mid laner very early that isn't Rise, maybe giving Bing some playtime on something that is another meta mid laner, I should say, that isn't just the Rise pick.
He has one game as Azir so far in the LPL. That was his last game against Snake, which was a victory, so it's not a bad choice for them once again to do what works for Bing. It's just unfortunate that it's not going to be that Rise because the team likes the Rise just a little bit more. What the Azir does do, however, is it empowers hyper carries in a similar way to Cassiopeia, that you can stand in front of them and give them the Sand Soldier door.
Zone them away. And FPX looking towards the second pick now. Be curious if it is Braum. It's not Braum, it's going to be Ezreal. Ezreal has not been banned, so LWX will happily take that one to the bank. And Chelly was actually using that one the other day, so it's also a denial from him as well.
Yeah, certainly the case. Of course, with only Tamkench banned and the Tamkench and Alistar rather, and the hover of Braum, I can see the consideration. I like that they were deliberating over it, but there's enough supports to suffice, and you can pick it third anyway. They put a higher priority on Ezreal, as you mentioned. Chelly's played it, but it leaves open so many strong AD carries still. Ezreal's good. Ezreal's really good, but look at what cost it's come at.
Yeah, Kalista still exists, so OMG will still pick that one up on this rotation, because otherwise 100% FPX is going to ban it out on the next phase. Vladimir as well for OMG as a flex pick between Xiang and Icon. And FPX back over to them.
Yeah, now Crisp is one of the few players that is high on Taric. He has played it twice already. And it seems to be a big part of, once again, FPX loves their picks that work with team strategy, and Taric seems to be one of those enablers once again, giving the 5-man invulnerability. And the amount of times that I've actually seen a Taric give someone 5-man invulnerability for just this team is impressive. It also means that they can ban out the enemy team's supports.
I think we're still trying to find our style, or what style FPX currently is, because, you know, coming into this bit, we were like, are they the brawlers? I don't know. They have a lot of potential, that's for certain, but are they brawlers yet? And I think the fact that they keep going towards these teamfight compositions, maybe signaling towards that they will consistently go towards something like a Taric. Shen ban, though, towards OMG, and it's a Rek'Sai ban against Pepper, in fact.
Yeah, they want to get rid of one of the few carry champions that also has a lot of presence in the way of vision control. Kha'Zix is another very strong Pepper champion as well. With Jarvan gone, there's a chance that they go towards banning that as well. But Lee Sin's also there. There's too many junglers to outright ban out. It's about priority.
Was hitting that support pool once again. And with Tamkench gone, Braum gone, Shen gone, and Alistar gone, there's actually not a lot left for OMG. Slim pickings for 5 now.
5 can play pretty much anything he wants as well. The Kalista-Rakan combo is always a good duo, and it's not a bad matchup into Taric with all the mobility Rakan has. So as far as laning is concerned, it's more so Kalista then versus Ezreal, and you take the supports out of the equation.
Yep. 5 is also a beastly Rakan, so that'll be good to see. Kha'Zix, another ban against Pepper, so very clear to see where the priority is from both teams in terms of their bans.
I was quietly hoping they were flexing Ezreal to the jungle. We very rarely see that now. It's more so going down to the AD carry position since Kleptomancy has come about, but not the case just yet.
Yeah, not right now. LWX just locked in on for the top lane for Gimgoon. And Taric will, of course, going to the bottom side, so they still need a jungler for Pepper. OMG, back over to them. They do need support. And possibly a top laner, possibly a mid laner.
This isn't a bad choice.
Yeah, especially with the Kalista. So it will be Leona lock-in. Give me 5. I like that.
That was the slogan for the LPL's 5th anniversary as well. Everyone was walking around with "Give me 5" shirts.
Ah, throwback. OMG looking towards their pick now. Could just be Gangplank. I mean, Ornn's already been locked in, so it's a known quantity here for Xiang.
They do know what the matchup will be. Gangplank does survive the lane extremely well. It's very hard to actually kill in that lane, and a Gangplank that's farming is a Gangplank that's earning more money than you.
Yeah. It is ultimately a skill matchup because the fact that all of CC coming out of Ornn is essentially a knock-up, so good luck oranging that. But yeah, he can just farm from range, and it's not something that's super interactive. Graves is going to be the pickup for Pepper into the jungle. I mean, to be fair, he just had like 17 bans against him, so he has to go somewhere. But he actually went for Graves.
That is... It's okay. I am not against a Graves pick. I feel like in the composition that FPX have right now, Ornn now becomes entirely more important, not just the Taric. But the reason that you can pick something like the Graves is partially due to that Taric. It makes you a tank just from the ultimate alone. It's not about being a tank.
Turn it into something that isn't necessarily around an objective. And for all of the problems to have as a newer team, probably a pretty good one.
Yes.
At OMG, they'll always command the audience every single time. Oh, actually, that's a Funplus. I didn't realize they were still going.
Funplus X are fighting back.
Yeah. No, their fan base will start to grow as soon as they start to beat some of these teams, because currently they are rocking the 1-on-1, but eventually they'll get it. There you go.
There's a giant banner for them. They exist. Funplus X, they should have fans, just from the players in the team. If you liked Newbie, there's 2 members from Newbie still here. If you like RNG, but you don't really like all of RNG, and you want a reason to like this team instead because you're trying to get out of the RNG hype train, Pepper. Right there, formerly known as Yihan, the former jungler. RNG. And Gimgoon, it's just Gimgoon. If you have to introduce who Gimgoon is, you guys need to watch more LPL. That guy's a beast.
It doesn't matter what team he's on. He's always going to do something.
Did he actually just get a sack of gold on his first
my.
queue?
Yes, he did. Catch it in. I want to see what he got.
If you also like RNG, Xiang.
What the heck is that? Well, that feels pretty bad. Either way, we're going to get into the laning phase here. This is a match prediction for the vote, 68% to OMG. And to be honest, I'm firmly sitting in the 32% just from what we've seen so far from the 2 teams.
Yeah, I'd actually almost turn those percentages around personally to say who I would expect to win this set just from what we've seen so far. However, whilst you are correct, and we do take into account what we've seen, if OMG show up to their highest potential, I have a feeling that the percentage is actually rather accurate.
Very, very true. So Bing here up against Icon in the mid lane. Icon very much known for taking names in the LPL, but Rookie has consistently battered them down.
Yeah,
Bing
Rookie
here.
was the one weakness. It was the Achilles heel of Icon, who was the hitman. He was literally soloing everybody.
Names.
Yeah, super good player.
But Bing's fresh on the block, so he's got another name to take here today.
Icon hasn't been taking many names lately.
No, he got absolutely blasted by Xie the other day on Zoe. And in the second game as well when he played Ryze.
Yeah, Ryze into the Kassadin. This time around he's on the Vladimir, and he's got Ignite, but it is an unsealed spellbook, so just a bit of extra lane pressure to be seen from Icon. World 6 also playing a tank, so a bit out of his comfort zone, but he's able to get by with it no problem. Sejuani's still a decent duelist, but Pepper's currently under his nose.
Yeah, he's taking away the Grump here. What's World 6 going to look for? Probably again, because it's World 6. Moving towards the mid lane. Bing just turns the corner. Now he'll see the Sejuani. Jumps away. Nice shifting stance there.
Definitely good stuff, but Pepper's got the inside track on World 6 now. He knows where you are.
He absolutely does. He's got red buff as well. Lines himself up against the wall. Has to flash over. Knows that the damage is going to come through from Pepper.
And that's what makes that interaction actually so intricate and well done from Pepper, as once again he's trading in the middle lane, is that he saved the Q. He actually throws out the smoke screen and tries to force the flash, and it was successfully done.
Five just took a lot of damage in the bottom lane. Looks like he initiated with the Zenith Blade, but did not come out as healthy as he expected.
You know what we are seeing, Pulse?
What's that?
We are seeing Icon learn and grow. He currently has the minion dematerializer as Vladimir in the middle lane, knows what Xie has done to him in games past, and has opted into the route himself, knowing full well that it's actually a very clever idea.
Yeah, I mean, he turned up to day 1 of the LPL and was like, hang on, what's this minion dematerializer thing? I haven't tried this one before.
Something smells fishy.
Yep, but it is exceptionally good in that mid lane. And the top lane, as I said, mostly just a farming matchup here. There is a chance for Gimgoon to do some good stuff here because of those knockups. If he gets on top of Xiang, especially when he starts to drive down that mana pool, though, eventually, there you go, mana pot just popped because of Kleptomancy.
Yeah, usually the way that this matchup will work is that they both start to run out of mana respectively, but one can craft mana in lane.
Yeah, and one
the ability to do
randomly get one from just hitting it.
Yeah, so there is a percentage of RNG at play here, of course. Mana pots for Xiang if he manages to get one through Kleptomancy. Gimgoon doesn't have that RNG factor. He's just going to build himself a mana crystal. So we'll see who can outlast, outwit, and outsurvive the other.
Very much the case in top lane, but we'll probably check in again in 5 minutes there. Mid lane is probably where more action is going to happen. Neither of them burn summoners in that engagement. It was, in fact, the jungle as 5 goes in the bottom lane. Hitting level 4 himself. Chelly follows up, of course.
This matchup, as the 2v2 is concerned, is very dependent on 5 hitting the follow-up Q stun. A lot of the turnaround here is that LWX can reactively use his Essence Shift and he can get out of there. And if he is out of there, he's distanced himself. Taric now has a free shot at 2 different types of stuns that can hit the Leona, because Leona is underneath them. So before level 6, you're actually expecting the Q to have to hit Taric, and then FPX do really well in those trades. But because of the Kalista being there and getting all of the auto attacks on during that time, AD carries make up most of the difference.
So Pepper here, he's constantly invading World 6. He's got the level 5 advantage as well. World 6 is not winning this trade. You should not try and challenge Graves when he's right up in front of you right there. Now he's going to have to go back to base because of that error.
I mean, look at the difference in items between them. Challenging Smite and a longsword for Pepper, not just a level advantage to what isn't even a finished jungle item yet for World 6. He is super far behind, and what Pepper is doing is making it worse.
Yeah, Five's going to take a lot of damage from this, though. However, Chris has no way to follow up, and this is going to be a big Ren following shortly. But indeed, Pepper does have very good invade stats on top of that, so he constantly looks for these invades, does get the advantage in the early game, and this is essentially the hallmark of FPX's play. They get the advantage in the early game, whether that's from Pepper, it's the skirmishes, is it the lanes, they will get the advantage over pretty much every team. We saw that even against EDG.
Yeah, the contrast to that, though, in this game for OMG is that their bottom lane is doing very well. It's not necessarily winning, the CS is super close between them, but they have control. And through having control, Pepper, whilst he is invading, whilst he's being aggressive and going forwards, doing it on this side of the map, on the bottom side, is the riskier decision. And that gives opportunities and avenues for OMG to try and turn that back around and maybe find some picks themselves. It'll have to involve intervention from both Chelly and Five to be successful, but they can totally do that.
He's actually trying for a gank here. Instant flash away from Five. Did not want any of that, seeing Pepper turn around that corner. So now he'll go back to his jungle, carry on farming his Grump, but he got the flash on bottom side, so he relieved some pressure, allows a back as well from LWX on this cannon wave.
And times it with the blue buff spawning for OMG, also knowing that Sejuani may not be nearby. At best, is it the red buff? So they don't get the counter gank. There's no possibility for that, just a respect flash. Pepper doing the correct thing. Instead of saying, Sejuani can come to me while the bottom side's winning, let's win bottom lane before I do the jungle.
Chris being a good support, holding the wave. Pepper even zoning away, so Pepper, a lot of this is just to help LWX out and shove Chelly away. Holy crap, he's just going all the way in there. Pops the ultimate, he really wanted him.
The second the challenging smite was on, you're like, hang on, is he going to... Yeah, he is, he's going all in. Pepper knows exactly how much damage he's able to contribute. Goes for the kill, instead just gets the heal from Chelly. But look at him constantly moving, constantly thinking going forwards.
I mean, this guy is a good jungler. Like, he never saw a lot of play just because he was behind MLXG, and he also would have been behind Casa had he stayed on RNG this split. So the fact he's actually gone to a team as now a starter, we're seeing how good this player was. And he had to have a pedigree to be on RNG in the first place.
Also to be able to sit behind RNG and spend that entire time learning from the roster as MLXG improves and gets to the semi-finals of Worlds. Surely Pepper has learned a thing or two from him. He's able to translate that as he comes now over to FPX.
We are seeing it in this game for certain. But is he actually laughing right? Yeah, you deserve that. You cannot just laugh in the face of Five standing at the edge of your jungle.
He can and he did. And I'm sure he will do it again too.
And he's probably calling worth from the fact that it only cost him his flash. But he'll go back. I'm actually surprised he didn't burn flash on the bottom side after he went so aggressive onto Chelly. But yeah, he'll finish off farming his jungle, go back to base. And what else have we got? So mid lane, essentially just be farming out. There's no real advantage to Icon nor Bing in that mid lane there.
I think the place that you've got to direct attention towards, and it's not going to happen just yet, but it will in the next 5 minutes, is top lane for Xiang having a CS advantage. Whilst the number says about approximately 2 CS as it shifts and changes with waves dying, it's actually that he has Kleptomancy with coin, so he's very strong. And he will become stronger faster than that of Gimgoon on the Ornn in the top lane. So things will start to shift and change through that top lane dynamic as it continues to change itself by the gold that Xiang's getting.
Yeah, pretty much just getting further and further ahead. Pepper just dives into Fog Warhead, though he has been spotted by OMG. World 6 is waiting for him actually within his own jungle. Instantly hits the ultimate. That's so much damage from Icon. First blood over to the mid lane.
Pepper just got absolutely obliterated. There was not even a chance to react. The second Sejuani's ultimate was out, he was dead. just gets popped. OMG moving again. Now they're going to steal the blue buff away. They're going to take that from being on Azir. That hurts.
Hurts a lot for the mid lane and the jungle there. So nice little invade from World 6. Because World 6, if you haven't seen him before, very much a similar player to Pepper. Does like to be aggressive early, get those ganks off, also invade into the enemy jungle. So he's probably not taken too kindly to Pepper doing the same to him.
They've been doing it to him. That feels real bad for World 6. He'd be super salty about it. And it starts to bite Pepper. But the reason that it does get Pepper is through smart plays, through smart positioning on the map from World 6 on this Sejuani, knowing where to be, knowing when to be there, and bringing Icon to do it.
And Bing just walking into the river, looking towards this Rift Herald as well. Looks like Ocean was taken there by FPX. So regardless of the fact that Pepper did die, they still managed to pick up that early objective. Arguably more worthwhile, and Gimgoon's getting a lot of damage onto this tower. The fact he doesn't need to recall me, so he's always going to get a bit of damage on the tower every single time that Xiang goes back.
The one reason that Ornn tends to recall is that he has either no mana or no health, because he doesn't have potions. You can't craft those potions through his mobile shop. This stage though, because he's full health and he's only lacking in the mana department, and he's been crafting mana items. Have to see how long he can actually last in this lane before he does need to go back in the first place.
And it's going to be a long while, I'm certain. Yes, he hasn't taken Demolish, or I want to say he hasn't taken Resolve Secondary because he didn't have Demolish as he walks up the tower, but I wonder what else he's packing.
He could still have Resolve and go towards Armor and perhaps the Last Wind or something, I think it's called.
Second Wind.
Second Wind, where you get damaged and you get health back, so.
I wouldn't be surprised if he just went like something like Conditioning or even Iron Skin there, but 5 clearing out this ward. Chris is going to be very unhappy about it. He just placed it down.
I mean, honestly, after the LCK pulse, everyone may as well just have Gathering Storm.
Yeah, someone did crunch the maths on that as well. It was like 300 extra AP and 200 AD or something for like a 90-minute game. It's crazy.
Yep. Thankfully, the amount is adaptive, so you don't get both. Imagine that.
That would
Vladimir
be
walks up
insane.
and crits you for 600.
Honestly, in a game like that, Rusty, like at what point do you just tell your support to sell your items and build AD carry? Because he got enough gold. Probably got like 20,000 gold just sat in his back pocket.
Depends on the support, Pulse. Depends on the support. There are certain people I'd be like, you know what? Get a Lich Bane, bud.
Get in there.
Make him hurt. Maybe not with a Leona and a Taric, though.
Yeah, maybe not. Just build full AP on the Leona, to be honest. But we are looking towards the top side. Pepper might look towards this Rift Herald. It is the only objective on map. 2 minutes until the Dragon as well. Scry's Bloom spots out the ward. So yeah, instant ping down from OMG. They know where the enemy jungler is, but he'll now see World 6 once more. There is no one to assist him this time, so it's not going to be an instant pop on Pepper.
You can still see the World 6 is playing with Pepper a little bit more now. He's not afraid of him completely. He's able to walk up to him, and the reason being is the Cinder Hulk has been completely done now. This is also on a ward for FPX. Bing is available to rotate, but so are OMG, and I do feel like they'll have to disengage off this Herald. They should not commit to doing it. They may commit to a pick onto Icon, however, if they chose, because they were also on Vision waiting.
They were indeed. Herald's going to get bored, wander back to his pit. And items are starting to be completed on the bottom side as well. That's actually an Iceborne on the top and bottom of FPX, so no one's going to be moving anywhere fast this game, including Icon picking up their own Frost Queen's claim.
Yeah,
so
there's also a world where there's a Rylai's done for Bing also when you're talking about slowing people down.
True.
Not first item clearly, but second or third's a possibility.
Yeah. Ooh, Pepper gets tagged by the flail. In comes Icon once again, lands the ultimate and the combo. I've seen this one before, but this time it's in River. Gonna flash away, actually not gonna be enough because Icon lands a transfusion. Call of the Forge Guard, and it's going to pop right back and run over Icon. Xiang in from the top side, and it's actually turned into a full-on brawl. Crisp following down and forcing a flash out from World 6.
Pretty much simultaneous flashes from everybody on OMG when the FPX police arrive and try and re-engage. Crisp comes in with the ultimate, and OMG, you can see the flash cooldowns all at the same time. They all noped the heck out of there. And FPX, whilst their jungler gets caught out of position, they've seen the trick before, they know exactly what's happening, and they are able to counteract that one. Gimgoon got there so quickly with his teleport.
He absolutely did, and he got a kill for his troubles as well, so we get to see that one more time as Pepper getting caught here, but it's the response here from FPX.
Yeah, he comes in very quickly. There's no response from the gangplank. He comes in now, so very late, very delayed. Gimgoon times it to perfection just before he gets stunned from Leona also. And that's all you get to see. You don't get anything else.
I will say that's a very satisfying animation as the ram just runs over its target and just murders him.
I have said, though, that one of the most satisfying things that an Ornn can do, whilst that looks and sounds amazing, is actually when he E's the wall and it kills someone. Because the wall splatters as the person splatters. It just feels epic.
It is very meaty. Like, it just feels good to watch and to do. There's some things in League of Legends that when you do it, it's just like, yes, that feels excellent. I want to do that again. Lee Sin ward hops.
Yasuo, anything.
Kick against the wall as Lee Sin, Dragon's Rage. That feels fantastic.
That's true. Azir's shoot the whoop.
We need like a most satisfying video for like League of Legends version because there's some really good stuff. This Dragon has been started here by OMG and World 6, in fact. Should go over to Chelly courtesy of his rend here. That'll be the Ocean Dragon. So OMG will definitely take that for the laning phase.
What do you think is the most satisfying individual person play that's not a wombo combo? Like that one thing that you could do by yourself that is actually just the coolest thing ever and makes you want to play the champion again and again?
Either Nunu AP ultimate onto 5 people or Alawi E ultimate onto 5 people.
I see you're a man that plays Alawi.
Yeah, shocker. Or Urgot max range ultimate. Feels great.
That'd be pretty good, actually. So I'd say a 5-man Lee Sin kick in a team fight.
The bowling ball.
Is probably the
on the
best
tank
thing.
as well.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, the shoot the whoop is a good one from Azir. Is there any champions in this game, in fact?
Any of what?
Any champions in this game who
just
are
the Azir, I think.
The Azir.
Ezreal snipes.
Ezreal snipes. Oh, cross-map snipes. Also executes with Graves ult.
That's true. It feels badass because you kind of don't look at the explosions.
Yep.
Five's in.
Good predict from 5. Gets right on top of L2VOX, but unfortunately Chelly just can't make his way in because it was a fantastic zoning stun from Crisp, stopping him from getting in there. Yeah,
the lane kind of playing out as I mentioned before as well. The Leona goes in, and yes, that prediction was fantastic. In fact, that makes them win the trade. The trade's still there, though. LWX is able to stand and deliver as Crisp responds. Now Ornn going in.
Here it comes. Pepper, he's got him against the wall, so he should be able to land the end of the line. But in comes World 6 with the counter gang. And again, the ultimate just finds Pepper. Parlay to the face, steal 4, and Gimgoon sidestep. That's actually pretty clever. He'll still get slowed and stunned. But wow, they're actually going for this. World 6 underneath the tower, and Xiang following up as well, but the perfect timing. Have the stopwatch coming down. Nice knock-up from Gimgoon. He's still alive. He has to go instead. Now juggle the tower go. But World 6, one more him actually for the minion wave arrives just in time.
That minion wave is the real MVP. So well done from World 6 and Xiang committing to the dive. Bing wants to try his hand at it, but they're already gone. They've evacuated the area.
Which one are you calling in?
And Bing's just wasting his time in the end. And that's unfortunate for FPX. But boy, OMG. I feel like they've shown up this game, Pulse. I feel like they're actually here to play.
They are indeed. And this is what we wanted to see. I mean, Billy earlier today, we were like, do something. And then they did it, and they just beat WE. So now OMG have arrived. Like, we can do the same. We're going to go back to OMG form.
You don't want to start week 1-0-2.
Oh, no.
There is no way OMG as a team want to start week 1-0-2. Now, what has happened is Bing gets the solo gold on the first outer turret that goes down. Gimgoon was able to push that one down earlier. And Pepper's pressure, whilst they both died for it, was to actually set that up in the end. So, not a bad end result, except for the part where those two had to die in between to achieve it.
And if I'm Gimgoon, I'm feeling pretty salty, because I did all the work over the first 18 minutes of the game. And then the mid laner comes in and steals 600 gold from me.
If Athena is anything to go by, Pulse, I wouldn't be too salty, because Azir's can hard carry.
Fair. But usually when you look at this team, you'd be like, Gimgoon, big carry, Pepper, big carry. LWX as well, and he's on a hyper carry as well. But Bing, still finding his place on the team for certain.
Has been playing very well.
Yes, he has.
Considering it is his first split in the LPL.
Yeah.
Very good moments from him. Some oopsies. But overall, I've actually been quite happy and surprised by how good he is.
That's to be expected.
Oh, they're diving.
Oh, in the bottom lane, Fate's call, flash out, and the arcane shift, and LWX planted in place, and he's just going, just get to move. That's going to be the bot lane kill over to OMG, capitalizing. World 6, nice dash from Pepper.
The horn is in.
Horn follows up onto 2. And that's going to be World 6 falling. Icon came in from the bottom side, was unable to get into the fight, so it's a 1-for-1 cross-map trade.
They're defending the Eye of the Herald, and Gangplank wants to go over and get it. Here we go, soccer.
Oh, he's trying to sprint towards it. Pops the ultimate, trying to get towards it.
No, don't push him
at this point. Just get it. Oh, flashes over the wall. Xiang. To be honest, at that point, just commit, just get it. You're going to die anyway. Oh, he somehow survives. He oranges his way out, and Pepper sits there, G-spawns. Successful defense.
That was actually the best game of soccer I've watched on Summoner's Rift. That was very good. Xiang barely surviving, does super well to get out alive.
Yep.
But Bing locks him inside the pit and says, you want to get this, you're waiting for my soldiers to come down. And he backs out, so no one gets the Herald.
Just to clarify, you're talking about hand egg, right? Where you had the quarterback trying to get in there and get the objective, the hand egg, which was in case the Eye of the Herald, in this case.
You're trying to make fun of the term football.
Yeah.
I could be referencing
it's not football, is it?
any football.
I don't think it's
As an Australian, I'm totally referencing soccer.
See,
as
that's
football.
where I don't really understand, because in the UK it's definitely hand egg and we have football, and that's what you guys call soccer or whatever, but you guys are an amalgamation between NA and the UK. Amalgamation.
It's soccer. It's just, it's soccer.
See, it's not, right? But that's where we have the difference of opinion, where you're wrong and we're correct, but you say it anyway.
Trust the British to say that, by the way, to the Australian. That's the last thing I'm going to comment on it about.
Well, what we do have is a defense, and that was great from FPX. So they are starting to get picked apart across the map, because that's 4,000 gold. Like, we've been caught up in the action because there's just random skirmishes happening all over the place, but this has actually culminated into a decent amount of gold over to OMG.
Yeah, they've actually grown to be very large right now, even with item spikes, to the gold amount that they have in lead. I mean, 4,000 is a significant number, but with a Ghost Blade, with a Trinity Force, with all of these items complete, even a BF Sword now complete, FPX seem to feel like they can take some crazy chances, and then they decided against it as they were spotted. But that's a sign that someone wants to sneak something. That's a sign that someone doesn't feel too comfortable in the current game state. OMG are very far ahead.
Might as well try, right? If it's not warded, if there's no Sixth Sense coming out from OMG to spot it out, then maybe they do pick it up. But that does leave an opportunity for World 6 to go right towards the Dragon. So unfortunately, in this case, it's one that's very exploitable, because everyone is on the bottom side. Icon is walking over as well to assist. And unfortunately, Gimgoon went back to base. So this will be a second Dragon now over to OMG in the form of the Mountain Dragon.
Now, of course, correct me if I'm wrong, Pulse, but the coach of FPX is the former coach of Dan Gaming.
It is BSYY.
So looking for a Baron at 21 minutes isn't surprising from FPX in any kind of situation. See, that is something that you'll have to get used to when you watch this team play.
This is what I was trying to figure out, right? Because we watched Dan, who is now top sports, as we see another attempt at the Baron do the same thing. I'm like, it was definitely the team. Now I'm watching FPX with the coach come over, and they're doing it again.
So Vladimir's bottom with no teleport, but OMG are here ready to fight. Baron's getting chunked out.
It's down to half. Here comes the Ram. Knocked back, knocks up, pretty much the whole team. Pepper secures the Baron. Gimgoon, he's holding the front line. That's a fantastic ultimate out from Chris. They already had 2 casualties, and Gimgoon will be the 3rd, but he have managed to survive with 2 Barons. Just kidding. Icon, he's located 1 target. Now he's chased down LWX, but he's away from his tower. Somehow he needs to get back to his tower without being murdered by Icon and keep this one alive. Icon deciding to back off, but this will be a massive deficit in the mid lane as OMG shove down the towers.
FPX commit to the Baron. They make it exciting if nothing else, but OMG were there. They were ready to defend. No Icon doesn't seem to be a major problem, and FPX can just count their blessings that Pepper got that smite, that he actually secured the objective. And now LWX is the one remaining Baron buff for them when everyone else responds, but look at the cost.
Big loss right there. That was 2 towers, maybe even 3 towers, but at least the Baron went over. Bing chunked at the start of this fight.
Yeah, they sound the horn. LWX has to come into the pit if he can, but look at him. He can't make the commitment to get inside, so he just has to throw Qs. And from the moment that the smite was secured from Pepper, they just needed to run and try and get out alive, but Icon's there. He makes their life miserable even on the evacuation.
Trying to finish off this tower in the mid lane, so at least get something back for FPX. Because if they do group up, they still do have a Baron buff, and if they get a pick here, that'd be even better. But Xiang's already got the Guardian Angel as a 3rd item at 23 minutes. That's actually absurd. I didn't realize how much gold this guy has.
Yeah, certainly. Whole host of items for OMG, for both of their solo laners specifically as well. It's not just Xiang that's got all of the gold. There's 3 items completed in the middle lane for Vladimir. Sejuani ulted.
Oh, of all the players to get caught, it can't be LWX. He's the only one who had the Baron. Chetty will get the kill credit.
5 is just on it. Every single time Ezreal flashes or uses his E to get out alive, 5 has predicted it. Picks him up one more time. So clean from the support of OMG.
Honestly, 5, like this was a fallback pick as well, because he had 3, 4, bans against him in Champions Next. It's like, actually, you haven't banned me out. Not at all. Even if you put bans towards me, I'll just pick up Leona and make all the plays that our team needs.
And remember, he's known for Rakan as well. So if it comes to it, he's got another support in the backlog that he could pick up easily.
Yeah.
One of the best Rakans you'll ever see in League of Legends.
Probably less detrimental just to let him have Shen or something at that point, you know? Or Tam Kench, where he can't make this crazy plays that he's doing on this Leona. But still, OMG have amassed a very big lead here against FPX, but it's not for lack of trying. FPX have been trying to do something in this game, multiple times in fact.
Yeah, this is one of those things where I admire the way that FPX have been losing the game by going for these aggressive calls and trying to be desperate. We mentioned it in the last set, that sometimes it's better to just take the plunge and make the risky play than to just let the game end slowly against you.
Yeah.
And that's something that you've always come to admire about FPX when they play.
That is true. They will go in. They'll try and make something happen. And Pepper, the fact that he's 0-4 right now is tragic because he tried so hard in the early game. He was getting the advantages. It allowed top lane, mid lane to be as aggressive as they wanted to be because he had that control. And now he's just very much paid for it, being the sacrificial lamb in either skirmishes or team fights or whenever. If someone's dying, he will die first.
Pepper's just kind of hit the point where it was good at first. You're like, yeah, I'm okay with what he's doing. It's aggressive, it's working, it's Graves into Sejuani. Then Icon finds him once, and then a second time, and now all we're seeing is Graves dying.
Basically a montage at this point as World 6 look for another initiate 5. He's got the follow-up, but the ultimate doesn't even come down in time from Chris. He had the timing, but there's just so much damage. Being LWX fallen, and Chris gonna be the third casualty. Gimgoon, he's on the front lines, and Pepper, I'm not sure what he's trying to clear out the minion wave, but he actually missed because they carried on walking.
Oh,
the
man.
juke there from the minions.
Insult to injury. 2 minions alive. There's a next wave coming, and Graves is stuck fighting what looks like a Sejuani on the bottom side. They've got a Baron. They don't have a Baron, rather. They're pushing it to get the free inhibitor. And that should be no contest from FPX. Even trying to clear the 2 minions was comical from Pepper. I don't think it would have made too much of a difference.
It's just a series of unfortunate events at this point, Rusty. And honestly, if you are FPX, you are looking towards game 2. And you look to make these proactive plays, and hey, if they worked out, because they were good decisions, if they worked out mechanically or a different player was in a different place, the chess pieces were aligned differently, then maybe we would have had a different game. But unfortunately, OMG won the fights. They won the fights at Baron when they tried to force something, and now we have situations like this.
And pretty much the way that you'll see all of these replays happen from now on is that OMG's composition looks head-rammy. Like, they'll get an advantage. A Leona and a Sejuani are literally just going to dash forwards and ram their heads. Sejuani does it literally. And then they'll just win the team fight. That's how far ahead they are. They've got tanks in the comp. The tanks are ahead. And it's pretty much the good night type of situation for FPX, where they need something special. They need something almost beyond special to get any kind of victories from here on out.
And frankly, I'm getting to the point where I'm becoming less and less of a fan of the Ornn into Gangplank matchup, because you don't have kill threat, or at least you do if he just walks into you. But then Gangplank leads laning phase at 27 minutes with 15,000 gold.
Okay, he's like 6,000 ahead of his lane
6,000 gold lead over Gimgoon. And like, Gangplank will do this because if he realizes he's in a losing matchup that can't engage on him, then he's just going to farm and do this.
Like, I get that everyone's ahead, because they are. There's like 13,000 for Chelly, but that's a pretty insane amount of gold that a Gangplank could get when he's such an item-reliant champion, and his items are so expensive. To have a Trinity Force and an Infinity Edge costs a lot of money. He's got all of that and then some, and that is so much more than Gimgoon.
And we don't have picks like Camille able to be picked
there,
but you have to do something else here. It's 5. Whoa, Chris almost gets obliterated immediately. In comes the Rams, the zoning. But that's a big ultimate in from Icon, flashes into the backline. Tides of Blood once more will cripple LWX. He falls, 3 kills. Pepper, he's gonna get another one. Double kill over to Icon. And Gimgoon, the last member surviving. Triple kill actually for Icon there. And Xiang following after, he's gonna zone away the Ornn. Ornn's gonna knock him into Guardian Angel. But it's not what matters, because OMG are pushing down the bottom side. I'm still watching the top lane. I don't think he's going to catch him, and even if he does, Ornn might just turn around and bonk him.
The game may just end before that, Pulse.
We're not going to see the conclusion to it, because OMG will finish off the Nexus, however slowly, because Icon wanted the Zhonya's Hourglass. They will take game 1. OMG, 1-0.
A fairly quick game.